Alright guys, so here's the push to start setup I'm going to be using from JDI, Jordan Distributors Inc. And here is what is in the box. Give some information, 92 to 96 on the Prelude, and some contact information. In the packaging here, got the portion where you're going to wave the key fob on to allow you to use the push to start to give you the function. Got the push to start button, connection to wire right there. Some more wiring. I think this is going to go to the actual ignition connections. And then I did purchase some additional kill switches, which I'm going to be hooking up. And here's the brains of the box, the computer portion with the key fobs on there. And then also they did include a decal. Gonna get started on this. Gonna take things off inside of the Prelude. Gotta take off the column cover and then the panel underneath the dash that kind of covers up some of the fuse box and wiring. So let's go ahead and get at it and see how this all works.
Chucky Beat Production.
You guys saw me take off the steering wheel, took off the airbag, took off the turn signal with the wiper switch, and so now I got easy access to the ignition right here. What's holding the ignition onto the column is like these rounded off bolts, and you got to hit them with like a chisel. The other thing, if you guys saw, I broke the SRS reel, and that's just because I forgot to unplug it from the steering wheel when I pulled off the steering wheel. I need to take off this ignition switch now. There's the ignition right there, guys. Now I could start to do the push to start installation. So right here do have the wiring for the push to start. Now these two connectors are going to connect back to the factory harness or into the factory plugs. Alright, so the harness is plugged up in there, the fuse box, and then there's a plug up there. You kind of see it right there with the yellow and the red, and that's plugged up. And then we got the ground wire bolted down to this metal bracket. Off of camera, I went ahead and spliced into the brake switch, or one of the brake wires, the dark green with the white stripe. Spliced that, put a spade connector in there, and then got a connector for the actual brains. Right now I'm going to start working on some of the interior pieces. I'm going to replace the trim piece that goes around here with the black piece from the other Prelude. Of course, I got the black column cover, which I'm going to show you guys. One of the first pieces I'm going to be changing out is the little piece around the dash. I don't know what it's called. It goes around like the column cover and has a little rubber, so you don't see a gap in between whenever you do adjust the steering wheel. But as you can see, it's torn right here from the black Prelude, but you could take these off, take off the trim of the rubber molding, just switch it out for the one in the blue, slowly switching over to the black interior pieces. Here's the column cover off of the other Prelude, the black Prelude. It's a little faded on the top. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but it does have some cracks up here. You know, a lot of times the sun is just beating down on these column covers. It makes the plastic a little bit brittle. Well, there's some cracks on there. It is cracked all the way through. I mean, it's not too bad. If I put it together, it would look quite alright. What I was thinking of doing is just plastic welding on the bottom so I don't show it on the top. Scuff it on down, paint it as well for this one also, because with this push to start, I plan to put the push to start in this area right here, in the same area that the key would have been at. And there's a little bit of scratches, or not a little bit, a lot of scratches from the keys. I was thinking about scuffing this on down too, and just paint both pieces. If you guys have not seen some of my other videos, the way I do the plastic welding is with the soldering iron. I'm going to use the deep end to try to get that penetration in there, and then just try to play with it, try to make it as smooth as possible. But you do want to have some additional ABS plastic on hand as a filler material. I just use some broken pieces, some broken plastic pieces that I know are ABS plastic. Here's the top of the column cover. It's all welded up. Put a little bit of pressure on it just to make sure it wouldn't crack again. See it a little bit right now, but still going to scuff this up. All that I'm going to be scuffing it up with is a maroon Scotch-Brite pad. It does a pretty good job, at least in my experience, from plastic interior pieces. As well, I'm going to go over it with the degreaser, or you can use some regular dish soap and really scrub it on down. You got to get in all the little crevices. See, there's some dirt that's been in the little crevice. Got to get rid of some of the oils that are on there, you know, from the interior protection product. So just want to make sure it's real clean and prepped up for the paint to adhere to. Here's the column cover. I did already wash it, but you guys could tell it's pretty scuffed up. Now it is prepared for paint. I'm just going to let it out here in the sun a little bit more, a little bit longer, just to make sure all the moisture is out of the plastic. Now, if you guys already seen some of my other videos when I fixed some black plastic, here is the paint that I use. It's from Sem Color Coat. There's the part number right there, Landau Black. And this paint matches pretty good with the Honda interior. Gonna go ahead and just let them dry a little bit longer, get on to painting. Column cover all dried up with the Sem paint. Put about 3 coats, a good 3 coats on there, and everything looks pretty OEM. You can still see where the cracks were a tad bit there, but it's not too bad. Take it into the shade here. Very clean, man. Then the lower portion right here. See where all those scratches were? It looks real clean now. So now I have the push to start button, and I just took off the rubber trim that it has. So I was just trying to push it through and then put the trim on the outside. So that looks pretty good, guys. And of course got the wiring on the inside. And there is that metal piece that goes on the bottom of here. I really do not know why it's on there, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw that in anyways. I have everything hooked up right here. I need to just hide that, so you know, of course, so it doesn't get stolen or anything like that. Of course, I'm going to do that with the camera off. As well, need to put this somewhere. This is where you would touch a key fob, and it would allow you to use the push to start. So I'm just going to hide that all on up. The push to start is all finished up. You can see the black interior, the column cover, and the column trim for the dash. That looks all real nice. It kind of blends in already because there is some black pieces that do come with the blue interior, so it's not too bad. No wires hanging, nothing left. Everything is a real clean install. On the passenger side, you can see the push to start button. 1 click will turn on the radio. 2 clicks will work the power windows, and as well turn on the fuel pump, get the engine ready for starting. And then gotta press on the brake, give it another click. Foot on the brake, click, turns it off. Now if you're trying to fresh start without priming the fuel pump, you can put your foot on the brake and then click.
This is a Chucky Beat production.